Hey everybody, this is Ed from the Whiskey Tangent Podcast, here with another Whiskey Short. And as always, I'm joined by Scott.
Hey everybody.
Today we have a very special quick taste with a whiskey that comes to us from California via Ohio. Scott, tell us what's going on.
Right. A listener of ours, a gentleman by the name of Austin from Wilmington, Ohio, reached out to us at our whiskeytangent@gmail.com email address to say, quote, "First off, I found your podcast recently and love the content."
Aww. Thank you. And so should everybody else in America.
I was wondering if you'd like to sample a product from my neck of the woods. The company is Have a Shot of Freedom Whiskey Company, and it's veteran owned. If this is something you'd be interested in covering on your podcast, I'd be happy to send some of this fine olive oil your way. So, of course, we said yes. Now, we had planned to do this for Veterans Day because we couldn't think of a better way to raise a toast to our country's retired military personnel on a whiskey podcast than to taste a whiskey made by veterans sent in by a listener. Unfortunately, there was COVID in the podcast family, and we had to postpone some things, and then we ran into the holidays and blah, blah, blah. But now, finally, at long last, this is Have a Shot of Freedom Whiskey, listener submission, quick taste.
Bonus short.
And he said about Ohio is because these guys were from Ohio, but they contract distilled from California.
Right. And it's fitting to take a toast for all our retired military, but of course our active military as well.
Absolutely.
All veteran, all people serving. Really bless all of you for putting yourself out there and doing what you do for us.
Absolutely. And what's even better is that not only did Austin send us a full bottle of the regular bourbon, he also sent a little bit of their cask strength as well to taste, which is apparently very hard to find. And so we'll be tasting both of them tonight.
Right, which is such a treat. You know how we love about cask strength, and we also love our listeners sending us bottles.
Yes.
Please
send more whiskey.
Yeah, honestly, we have many listeners, and only 2 have ever sent us bottles. Now, we're not shading the rest of you, but that's a bad ratio.
You're kind of slacking off there, fellas.
We have hundreds and hundreds of listeners, and only 2 have sent us bottles. So I'm just saying, not turning this into a lecture.
Shame.
We could do better, America. And listen, I know international shipping prices to the other 55 countries that have downloaded us. Feel free to send us any Amaret from India or Irish whiskey or some Scotch whiskey or maybe some French or German whiskeys.
Yeah, we're whores. We don't care.
We'll actually take some nice dark molasses rum from the islands. Some
tequila,
rice wine from Japan, whatever we need.
What? We got some sake back here.
Right, we got sake already.
So I have a short description, which we'll read, and then we'll get right into the stats and tasting.
Sounds good.
All right. On a summer day in 2011, in Helmand Province, Afghanistan, the Alpha Battery, 1st Battalion, 10th Marines engaged enemy forces with a barrage of artillery shells. Tirelessly, they reloaded their cannons as steel rain poured down over the mountaintops. Through the booming of the howitzers, the unit's senior staff NCO shouted, "Marines, enjoy this day. For those who fight to protect it, freedom has a flavor that the protected will never know." And it was the remembrance of that rallying cry which gave birth to the Have a Shot of Freedom Whiskey Company, when Marine Zach Hollingsworth and Airman Scott Brown's habit for back porch drinking and telling war stories turned into a fateful decision to take the risk to create a bourbon that truly embodied the American spirit. Following months of research, the pair linked up with an up-and-coming distillery out of Spring Valley, California, to create their signature small batch bourbon, made to provide the highest quality bourbon in America and build a family of passionate whiskey drinkers. Freedom Whiskey honors the heritage of our country while providing employment opportunities to veterans, their families, and anyone else who seeks to make a difference.
Awesome. I got the bottle right here. The bottle comes with a dog tag on it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
The one that I'm looking at right now says, bottled for post-COVID-19, a fresh breath of freedom, batch number 39, bottling date, June 20th, 2021 is when it was bottled.
Oh.
So,
yeah, the cask strength I have, dog tag says, bottled for faith, family, and freedom, the American dream, batch number 35, bottling date, April 15th, 2021.
there you go. So they're putting these batches out pretty good.
Yeah.
We don't know how many bottles are in a batch, but it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, the proof on the small batch, we're going to taste the small batch first, is 90. The mash bill is 75% corn, 21% rye, 4% malted barley. Distilled and bottled by the Have a Shot of Freedom Whiskey Company of Spring Valley, California. The age is undisclosed, but the bottle says straight bourbon, so it must be at least 2 years. The price that I've seen is about $45 to $55. Cask Cartel has a batch 2 for $119. So, those rare things. We just finished our secondary market, Whiskeymentary. Mm-hmm. And so I guess this is going on the secondary market if you can find it. It did win gold medal at the 2017 New York International Spirits Competition, Best in Show at the 2017 California Craft Spirits Competition. So they've been around doing this for, I don't know, 4 years.
So it's a heavy corn, though it is a decent amount of rye.
Yeah, 21.
I guess anything over 20 is enough to call it a high rye, isn't it?
I suppose.
I just feel like recently there's been a big movement to have more rye in the mash.
Yeah. Gives it a little bit more spiciness.
All right, so let's see what we...
Yeah. Of course, using our neat glasses.
They come with a cover, so it kind of locks in the flavors and give it a little bit of a swirl so it doesn't spill out.
Yeah, George gave us the covers. They're really neat.
Yeah, they are. They're neat. They're very neat.
All right, let's see what we get. Oh. Definitely corn, vanilla, and caramel.
I mean, you can't get away from
much
the
corn.
Traditional bourbon profile of vanilla, corn, caramel. But let's see if we can get deeper into those flavors.
Yeah, try it again. Like what we've experienced with this neat glass is the first sniff doesn't really get you as much, and putting the cap back on and swirling ends up delivering a lot more aromas.
Use both nostrils right in the sweet spot of the glass.
I'm getting leathery notes now.
I actually am getting some rye spice.
Yeah, definitely rye spice.
Not getting any citrus or anything right now.
No, it doesn't go in that direction. Oak.
Yeah.
It's oaky.
Oak and very vanilla.
Vanilla.
Like a sweet, sugary vanilla. Mm-hmm. All right, let's give this a taste.
The spiciness.
Yeah, it's way more spicy than I thought.
It's pepper.
Oh, it's a sweet finish, though.
Oh, I'm getting a little dryness now. It went into various stages. It was spicy, then sweet, and dry.
Surprises me. I mean, you can taste the immaturity a little bit,
Yeah.
but the whiskey itself is very well distilled. It's a very good whiskey.
There's more oak and that leathery kind of quality. I get a little bit of clove, too.
Yes. Maybe a little mint, maybe.
Maybe.
There's definitely an herbaceous quality at the end of the palate because it's not quite the finish. The finish, for me, very sweet and then drops off. I'm not getting the same drying that you are, but it's definitely not an oily mouthfeel. It's the texture of it.
Yeah. It's really good. I really like it.
I don't want to make a drink with it either. I just want to drink it like this.
If you like whiskeys that are like oaky and have a little bit of char and have these more savory notes to it, you're really going to like this because that's what this has. There's some sweetness, there's some spice, but those are kind of what I'm getting as it finishes and fades away. Freedom whiskey. Fuck yeah.
Drink it in a cup or right out the bottle.
America. Fuck yeah. There's a TikTok with the American eagle walking on the beach, and it had all the
Americana around it.
McDonald's.
It's the South Park song, right?
Yeah,
it's the South Park.
Right. It's the yeah. And also, we were playing Halo, so we're in the military now. Right. In the future.
So, do you want to do the cast strength?
Let's do the notes. Okay. So these are from Caskers.
Oh, interesting.
So on the nose, sweet vanilla and oak, followed by caramel, malted barley, light charcoal, leather, and rye spice.
Yeah,
holy
pretty much.
Shit.
We hit that right on.
On the palate, pleasant notes of sweet malt, vanilla bean, and oak, followed by layers of leather, spicy rye, and sweet malt.
I mean, we couldn't have nailed it any better. We tried to find more, and there really evidently wasn't any more because that's what they had.
That's what they had. On the finish, spice, vanilla, malt, and a touch of oak.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, but also the herbaceous flavors that we talked about.
So let's taste the cask strength.
Right. So the cask strength is 119.
Yes. And that is apparently the only difference.
Okay. Same mash bill.
Yep.
It's not any older?
Not that I know of. Yeah, getting an age statement and stuff, a lot of stats, is really hard for whiskeys that are local like this. Ooh, a little bit more fruit notes on this one because we didn't really get any fruit notes on the last one.
No. This has almost like a raisin.
Yeah.
Like maybe a cherry.
Yeah. I was going to say cherry, but you know.
I know.
I always wait for you to say it. Otherwise, not much different.
Let's taste it.
Ooh.
Oh, God, that's different. Wow.
The taste is different.
Wow.
119.
Wow. We have no water out. It's like our first time ever doing a podcast. We don't have any water out.
We got the water to drop into it.
Yeah, we do have the still water to drop into it, not just shots out of the bottle. Most of what we tasted in the regular expression, but definitely the sweetness is different. It's become, like I said, dark fruit, raisin. Mm-hmm. It definitely has the vanilla, the corn, the rye spice that we had before, some oak, but now there's a difference of dark fruit. I would say that the clove and the herbaceous notes are down a little bit.
There's more rye spice with this, but that could be the heat. So let's drop some little bit of water in it because it needs a little bit of proof down. The first one didn't. The first one was a very nice proofage.
Yeah, you could drink that. I wouldn't do anything to it. I wouldn't even put it on ice. This one.
Oh.
Yeah.
So much spice.
So 5 or 6 drops.
I think the clove came back.
Let me see. I thought I got a little bit of that. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It is so spicy. Holy shit.
Now, with a little bit of water on it, the fruit notes are diminished, and I'm getting herbaceous and mint and clove notes back, which is funny because we've just moved it from 119 probably down to like 110, 112.
Right.
Put some water in. So now we're getting closer to the 90 where the other one is. So I guess it is the same thing, but when you don't proof it down with some spring water, you get more of a sweet note. And then when you proof it down, it gets more of a peppery and herbaceous and clove and minty and leather and that type of thing. So
I really like this one.
Yeah.
I like it better than the small batch.
You always do.
I know, and I always do, but for those reasons that you just said, because you're getting a lot more of the spice.
Right.
And that's what I really liked about the
what did you say this goes for?
This one, the price.
Did you find it?
No.
Well, I'm going to say if the other one's 45 to 50,
it's probably at least $10 or $15 more.
I would probably bet you around 75. So
yeah, could be.
So I just combined them. I had about the equal amount of the original 90 proof and the cask.
You did what I usually do.
I know, but they're the same mash bill. That creates, it's actually pretty good. Taste it.
Okay, let me try it.
Mm-hmm. Wow, it's like the best of both worlds. The finish is longer. So if you think of it as drinking the original, like it's the original with a better finish and some sweetness to it. And if you think of the cask strength, then it's a little bit more approachable than the harshness of the 119.
You basically proofed it with itself.
Yes. I proofed whiskey with whiskey. Jeff taught me that.
Yeah. This is what blenders do, right?
That's
blenders
right.
fit the same distillery blending barrels that are similar in mash bill, but might have been in different places in the rick house. So they have different quality flavors. And that's what you just did.
Right. So I'm going to make a suggestion. Freedom Whiskey Gold, which is a blend of both of these to about a proof of about 107.
$600 on the secondary market.
Okay. Yeah. The Freedom Gold take about 65% of the regular, 35% of the cask strength, and I think you're going to have an amazing spirit there.
Austin,
you should do it, Austin, right now. Except we have the rest of your cask strength.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, it's just delicious right now. I'm really happy with my concoction.
Yeah, it's quite good. Like you said, the finish is better than the first, and it's just kind of less, I don't know, in your face than the second one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, good stuff.
Good stuff.
First of all, it's a great present to give to anybody who's a veteran for any type of an occasion.
Yeah.
You know, a great one to bring to a holiday, July 4th cookout or Veterans Day or New Year's or anywhere. I dare someone to criticize it because it's America.
Fuck yeah.
Drink this whiskey or you're a communist. So, Scott, you have a...
Oh, yes. There's kind of a sad coda to all this because Austin reached out the week that actually this was supposed to come out before Veterans Day. Obviously, he didn't know that what was going on with us and that we had to postpone stuff. But that's when I told him. He said that Zach Hollingsworth had died.
Right, one of the founders.
One of the founders of the company. And I was really sad to hear that. The ironic part is we wouldn't be able to actually talk about him because it would already have been recorded and we'd have released it. But so now we kind of get a chance to talk about him. And what's interesting is that there's a poem on the side. Coincidentally, our last one had a poem. Yes. The listener submission had a poem. But this one, I wanted to read it because I think it pays tribute to military personnel and those who have fallen. So here's the poem. It's called Freedom. For those who have served in far-off foreign lands, raise your glass to the heavens with calloused, hardened hands. And for those who fought for freedom, never to return, we sip this whiskey for you, embracing the slow, warm burn. For when the morning sun breaks and we rise from our beds, let us not forget the tree of liberty is watered with sweat, blood, and lead.
Freedom Whiskey. Have a glass and raise it high.
Definitely.
So thank you, veterans.
Yes. Thank you so much for your sacrifices.
And thank you, Austin.
Yes.
For sending us this unique and wonderful expression that has touched our taste buds and our hearts.
Definitely.
You know, our country's going through a lot the last couple of years. And to all those people who give a damn about doing the right thing every day, salute.
Indeed. Well said.
For the Whiskey Tangent Podcast, I'm Ed.
I'm Scott.
Cheers, America.
Cheers.